How's it going, everybody? It's the King of Fox here. It's my channel where I talk about anime, video games, cartoons, most notably Sonic and Ninja Turtles. And today, I'm pretty sure it's obvious, but I am doing a live stream as promised. I know I'm a little bit late. Like I kind of said, I was gonna do a live stream today, Saturday, somewhere between like 10 or 11 and stuff. I mean, it's like 10:36. So, I mean, it's kind of like right in between. So, I was kind of doing a lot of extra things. I was playing a little Final Fantasy, and then I was kind of cleaning up my house a little bit and stuff like that. Have a little bit of a clean house. And then I was kind of shaving. So, yeah, and then a little exercise and whatnot. But hey, I'm here now. So, anyways, yeah. So if you probably read the title, for right now, I got this is the first ever live stream I'm doing and whatnot. The other one that I did last night, that was more so of a practice test or whatever. Um, but yeah, this is the first live stream I'm doing. So if you guys want to come through and ask me some questions or whatever, you can do so. I'm doing this in real time. So yeah. But anyways, I'm not gonna be holding out on like people and stuff in case nobody does come through. So I kind of made a list of things I kind of wanted to talk about anyways. And if somebody wants to ask me questions or whatever along the lines, then yeah, we could definitely chat it up. So, anyways, yeah, so like I said, a few light spoilers from Spider-Verse. I saw it last week and stuff. It was an all right movie. It wasn't the best Spider-Man movie I've seen, and it wasn't in particularly the worst. But I'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. I'll just, like I said, light spoilers. Then I'll just talk about some updates and whatnot. So yeah, so you guys would know what you're getting into. So yeah, but it's Pride Month. Yep. It's June 10th or Juneteenth or whatever, people like to celebrate that. I don't really care much for it. I literally forget about this holiday anyways, but whatever. Um, but yeah, Pride Month, everybody likes to, yeah, um, you know, honestly, I'm not really a huge fan of it. Part of me is like, yeah, the best part about Pride Month is not celebrating Pride Month. And it's not to say I have anything against people that are gay or whatever. I mean, if that's your business, that's your business. I got some friends and some like coworkers and stuff that are gay and that I'm kind of like chill with or whatever, so it's all good. But anyways, yeah, but Pride Month. I'm not gonna go on a huge tangent about like, the social justice warriors and all that other jazz. I just think it's kind of ironic though, because with all this pride stuff, I mean, it seems people are kind of getting sick and tired of it. I can't blame them because I'm sick and tired of it. It's like we pretty much get this shit on the daily basis. Do we really need a month dedicated to all this? But anyways, yeah, but you got people on like, I don't know, what's it called, on TV and stuff with these like pride rallies or whatever, like wearing stuff like you might have seen off of like Mad Max or something. Basically, this shit's weird. But yet people want to complain about Cammy from Street Fighter and stuff, and her wearing her classic leotard and stuff, and that she looks sexy in it, and she got cheeks. Like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, even though she's wore that exact same outfit for almost like about 30 goddamn years, yet, and it's not like it's like that skimpy as like, oh, all these other weirdos and stuff that's on like the news and shit on these pride rallies that like literally are wearing BDSM stuff or whatever that should be behind closed doors. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, but across the Spider-Verse, let me talk about that for a little bit. I'm not gonna tell you the entire plot or the entire. I'm not gonna spoil the whole thing. I'm just gonna talk about some of my gripes with it. Um, yeah. Um, on Twitter, you got a lot of people talking about some Gwen is trans and all that stuff when obviously Gwen is not trans. She's never been trans. Um, I personally think that if they were to like make that so, in like the next movie or something and beyond the Spider-Verse, they'll probably just like throw it in the last minute to kind of appease that crowd and just say, "Oh yeah, Gwen's trans" or whatever. They'll probably just say it in some kind of like interview or some shit like that, or on Twitter or whatever. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, Gwen's trans," and then everybody will be like, "See, see," even though I'm pretty sure intentionally Gwen was never like intended to be trans, or Spider Gwen that is, but then they're calling her Spider Woman, which she's not Spider Woman. And then it's just either Ghost Spider or Spider Gwen, but whatever. Um, I did not really like her character in this movie. In the first movie, I don't think I minded her too much, but in this movie, yeah, I'm starting to see why people don't like Spider Gwen. Um, I know they definitely don't like Gwen Poole, but Spider Gwen though, yeah. In this movie, I was like, can we please just axe all these scenes out and just have the scenes with Spot or Miguel or something, Spider-Man 2099 or whoever. Like this honestly, in my opinion, would have fleshed out the movie a lot more better versus like because to me, honestly, this movie felt like it was like honestly, this could have been like on Netflix or something where it could have been like a Netflix series about the Spider-Verse and stuff, and you get Miles as the protagonist, but it probably wouldn't have been as, like, profitable, if they just made it a Netflix, series and stuff because, I mean, I can see definitely you can definitely make a lot of, money and stuff with a theatrical release and all that, and then on top of that, you got all these animators and stuff that work on it too, so they get paid bare dough and stuff, so I can imagine, okay, um, yeah, but I just wasn't a fan of how, like, I think like 20 like I wasn't sure because I was kind of I kind of missed like a couple of like the first couple of minutes of the movie because I was in line getting popcorn while my family and a friend of theirs was like watching the movie and stuff. I was like, yeah, I got the popcorn, the my soda, whatever, came back in. Normally whenever I am late to seeing a movie, I kind of get pissed off not this time, or at least not for movies like these. Because hell, I was almost not even convinced to even see Spider-Verse. But then I was like, "You know what? Let me just put aside my just I don't know, I guess, spiteful and hurt feelings and just go see this movie and stuff." It could be just an entertaining movie, and I could just, deal with that. So, that's what I did. I don't entirely regret seeing the movie, but I'm not as enthusiastic about seeing the next movie until when it comes out, like, when it gets here. Although, well, they should have well, honestly, they probably should have made this I wish they would have probably put this movie probably in somewhere in the end of the year or something like that. That probably would have been better versus waiting out a whole another year, but it is what it is. Anyways, so even when I went to go get popcorn and came back late to the movie, I still felt like the Gwen scenes and all that stuff was way, way too long. I'm like, can we just have this as in like not even as like a flashback, but just as a like what's his face? Like Gwen can like literally just tell the audience this or whatever, and we get maybe small little nibits of like flashbacks or something. I think that would have been a lot more better. Um, Miles was okay in this movie. I kind of felt like when they were getting into the stuff with him and him dealing with his parents and all that stuff and that whole drama, I felt like that honestly felt like to me the middle of the movie, and I was like, this is a weird placement. This should have been happening in the beginning, in my honest opinion. But yeah, and honestly, I feel like they should have like with Spot. I feel like if they're gonna have Spot, like, cause Spot, I don't know what they wanted him to do originally because like, first he kinda started off as in like, oh, he's trying to rob this convenience store with his powers and stuff, an ATM machine, then Miles stops him, and then, um, he goes from that to like, "Okay, now I'm gonna take everything away from you, and I'm gonna kill your dad, and yada, 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 and I'm doing all this multiverse shit." Like, that's a very, very big leap, in my opinion. Very big leap. Um, Honestly, if you really wanted to make Spot like more like I said, have dual focus or something. Do something like Spider-Man 2 where they kind of focused on like Peter's perspective and then Dr. Octopus's perspective. Where yeah, we got insight of what Peter's going through in his life, but also give us like Dr. Octopus's perspective, like how he was like suicidal. His motivation was he wanted to finish off his like project and stuff and whatnot because his wife had died, and this is like his life's work and everything. And he kind of low key blamed Spider Man for everything too. So he also had a bit of a hatred for him. I felt like yeah, with Spot, you could have done something like that. You could have had him use his powers and maybe assemble like a type of rogues gallery or something to fight Miles. I think that would have been a lot more interesting than what we got because basically it's just going to be pretty much multiple Spider-Men fighting Spot in the next movie. That's what it's going to be, or like a complete civil war. And I'm like, Oh my god. Can we please just stop getting these hero versus hero fights and just get like, the good qualities and stuff because like not a lot of people really know about Spider-Man 2099 unless like, well, unless you're into the comics and stuff. But I mean like the mainstream audience, like the normies and all that, they don't really know too much of like Spider-Man 2099. And I hate to say it myself, but even like I don't really know too much about him. I know he's from the future or from an alternate future and stuff of Peter Parker's where he ends up becoming the that Spider-Man the year 2099 and stuff. Because I guess he gets Spider-Man's DNA, but he was like I think he was terminally ill or something. But whatever the case, the obviously it fixed him up, and yeah, that's how he got his power. So yeah, so he'd just be off some time shenanigans from time to time. Anywho, back to what I was saying. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the movie's all right, but it's just I feel like it could have been a lot more better. And then if you definitely take out those messagings and all that stuff, that would definitely lighten the load. But when I saw it, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was still face palming myself, but I was already expecting it anyways because I saw the trailers. But it's just when you go to watching the movies, it's really like that. They're not even trying to hide it, and I was like, wow. I thought this was gonna be like maybe a little bit in the background to the side. No, this is like you can actually read the shit. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But it is what it is. So honestly, if you ask me what I think of Spider Verse, honestly, I'll give it a C. It's not a movie I would recommend to tell you the truth, and that's just me being generous about it getting a C. I absolutely hated No Way Home because that movie was also and speaking of which, that movie also was kind of like just straight up just fan service galore. Like that entire plot, the characterization was nowhere. I hated it. But yeah, but that's across the Spider Verse. So, anyways, but if you want to know the full details, you can probably look at anyone else's review or just go watch the movie since obviously it's in theaters now. I just wasn't feeling it. My family loved it. I just didn't love it. I didn't care for it. But if you wanted to ask me like what's my favorite Spider-Man movies and stuff, um honestly, it's probably going to be the Mark Webb movies, which I know this is a hot take. The Mark Webb movies and the Sam Raimi movies. I mean, I know a lot of people would definitely say Sam Raimi and stuff because, they were so good back then and whatnot. Oh yeah, and they were, don't get me wrong, like Spider-Man 1 I feel like Spider-Man 1 is actually pretty underrated and stuff. It's actually like a really good superhero. Like this is how you start off like a superhero movie and stuff. You like start off the first couple minutes with the origin. He jumps right in, he does the Spider-Man stuff, and then he fights the bad guy throughout the movie and then towards the end. And then they actually did some pretty good setup and stuff with like Harry hating on Peter or hating Spider-Man and stuff for believing that he killed his dad um, and all that stuff, and Mary Jane kind of getting a faint idea that Peter might be Spider Man and all that other shit. Yeah, I thought it was actually pretty good. Very underrated movie. For the first one. The second one, yeah, a lot of people definitely it might be a little overrated, but hey, it's still a good ass movie though, nonetheless. Had a lot of good scenes, good moments, good characterization, uh, pretty good ending, everything. And then Spider Man 3, well, Spider Man 3 ain't my favorite Spider Man movie, but it's up there. I mean, it's all right. It's better than well, I gotta say it's at least better than most of the stuff we're getting nowadays. But honestly, it's not a bad movie. It's all right. For what it's worth and stuff. Definitely, I always come back to watching the fights in Spider-Man 3. I love watching the fights in Spider-Man 3, like that Peter versus Harry fight. That fight with Spider-Man and the black suit Spider-Man and Sandman. That was pretty badass. Yeah, I love to come back to the fight since I Spider-Man 3 and just watch that on YouTube or something because that shit is cool. But anyways, yeah, so some well done fighting choreography. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. Now this is what I was saying that I love the Mark Webb stuff. I love Amazing Spider-Man 1. That was a pretty good movie. Also another solid just again, like this is how you start off a superhero movie and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of people don't really give it as much credit. They'd be like, "Oh, Spider-Man's too edgy," which he's really not. Or the Lizard, well, his goal is to turn everybody into dinosaurs, Now, I'm not exactly the biggest comic book reader, but isn't the lizard's goal to like, I don't know, that he believes that reptiles and stuff like that are all better than humans and stuff, and basically he wants reptiles and stuff to overtake the planet, and he sees humans as inferior. Like, yeah, and come to think of it too, it's kind of like Magneto from X Men from the first one, where Magneto tried to turn everybody else into mutants and stuff, and thinking that okay, yeah, humanity, let's why not just turn them into mutants as well, just like us, basically. But anyways, thought it was also a pretty good story, and this is also where I get into some some hot water right here. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is actually one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I know, plot might be everywhere and all that stuff, but I thought it had some pretty good moments and stuff, enjoyable moments. I definitely love Spider-Man's costume in there; it looks pretty badass and stuff. And yeah, I definitely love the eyes and everything. It looks cool. What else? Just yeah, I thought it was a pretty good movie and stuff, you know. But that's just me. Homecoming was somewhat like Spider-Man Homecoming. It was okay, actually. I would say it was the best out of the MCU, and whatnot. But it's just like, yeah, the casting was terrible, and just like, come on, Flash. And then, Ned Leeds and all that, like, come on. And then they kinda aged down some of the characters and stuff as well, like Betty Brant, like, she's in high school and stuff, and Betty Brant like, the thing about Betty Brant as the character in the comics was that she was older than Peter Parker and stuff, and she was, like, working at the Daily Bugle, and they had this, like, relationship and all that stuff, you know? Well, take that for whatever you will. I mean, Peter was 17, which probably doesn't make it that exactly that better, but Peter was 17, Betty was like, I want to say she might have been her early 20s ish, I think. I don't know. But they had a little bit of a relationship and whatnot. Um, yeah, that was kind of like, yeah, Betty right there. But in the movie, they just kind of like made her like 15, same age as Peter in there, or 16 or whatever. And I was just like, okay. And then, yeah, yeah. And then another thing too about like Homecoming is that I feel like they don't understand Peter Parker as a character. Is that like Peter isn't like he's picked on, or he's not like just simply isolated because he's just a nerd. Like no, he's picked on and isolated because um he's a science whiz. Like he's a complete like science geek and stuff. Like all that science babble and techno babble that he always be going on about and stuff, all that pretty much that's like what alienated him from like everyone else, where everybody's like, yeah, we don't care, we don't need another science lecturer or a science teacher or whatever, some student pet bookworm, yada yada yada. Yeah, people used to clown the shit out of Peter in the classic comics, man, for that. So yeah, that's why Peter was isolated. So in Homecoming, it's just that everyone else, like even Flash or MJ or whoever or Ned, they're all like, oh yeah, they're also science geeks as well. It's like, what? You know what I mean? So, yeah, so Homecoming, but it was an alright movie. I actually liked Vulture in it. He was pretty badass. I thought he was a lot more cooler than I expected. Then, Far From Home. Well, the best part for me was when Spider-Man got hit by that train. I actually liked that scene. Um, by Mysterio, that was like where shit really got intense, but that was kind of in the middle of the movie. But yeah, Mysterio was definitely was a real good threat in this movie. That's the best. That's the only takeaway I can say from that. And the special effects look cool, but that was about it. And then, like I said, I don't like No Way Home, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. So that's my opinion on the Spider-Man movies. Spider-Verse, the first one, Into the Spider-Verse. I was writing the hype a little bit about, oh yeah, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever. No, but it's up there. And I'm like, no, but it is up there though, in my opinion. I'll say that. But anyways, yeah, if you well, I guess if you ask me, maybe it's probably wedged between um yeah, somewhere around I want to say like Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man. I wouldn't say like, yeah, it's the best, but yeah, it's up there. All right, so that's enough talk about Spider-Man and stuff. So, yeah, so lately, I mean, it's just that superhero movies for me they just hadn't been hitting because obviously people want to use it as like a ploy to like insert, their propaganda and stuff, and I'm just not trying to hear it. So lately, I've been just watching a lot of like action movies and stuff. Like look, if you have Netflix or HBO or whatever, just take advantage of that because or Amazon Prime, just take advantage of it. Like because what I've been doing is that I've been like since I have those streaming services and stuff, I've been just watching old movies and stuff from like the 80s and the 90s, the 70s and stuff, watching martial art movies and all that stuff, the Bruce Lee stuff, the John Claude Van Damme. I just watched Kickboxer like literally last week. That was the first time I ever watched Kickboxer. That was a pretty badass movie. I watched Bloodsport a couple of weeks ago as well. That was a pretty badass movie. I was trying to watch Bloodsport, but yeah, but at least I finally am able to. So, yeah, that was a pretty badass movie itself. Like stuff like that. Like, yeah. And it doesn't have to be like solely just martial arts movies, but but just yeah, just check out just other things, take advantage of it. There's always something out there. It's just that you gotta like, just keep looking for it instead of just, just taking what's presented in front of you. So that's just how I feel about that. So I feel like that kind of makes up for that. But if I had to say for the best movies I've seen so far this year, oh, hey, what's up, Sonic Rush, 141? How's it going? Well, anyways, as I was saying, yeah. So I mean, if you like, yeah, if I had to say the best movies I've seen so far, I would say like this year is probably not Spider-Verse. The George Foreman movie, saw that little boxing movie. It was pretty nice. Really good documentary and everything. What else? I saw Suzume. It's this anime movie about this girl and this guy gets turned into a chair. It's interesting. I think it came out last year. And then there was something else too that I can't even remember now. Oh yeah, Mario, of course. That was a good ass movie as well. So Sonic Rush. I know. I'm jumping between topics here. Let me think. So how's your day been going? Kind of just getting my day started in my after this live stream, I'll probably step out and probably head to the mall or something, walk around, get some stuff. It's Saturday, so yeah. And I'm off too, which is the best part. Let's see. George Foreman. Let's see. So, Sonic Rush, have you seen Spider-Verse yet? I was just talking about it to my audience and stuff. Like I said, I thought it was I wouldn't say it was an all right movie, but I'm like it was kind of mid, average. Cool. Yeah, most people I like, that I hear from actually say they loved Spider-Verse. I'm just like it's just me personally, I myself am just not feeling it. But that's just me though. But yeah. You thinking about seeing that Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out in August and stuff? I mean, like I said, I said it in my other live stream the other day, but I think it might actually be pretty interesting and stuff to check out. I mean, there are some things not to my liking, but you know, but yeah, that's great. But yeah, so Ninja Turtles and stuff. So yeah, action movies and whatnot. But yeah, but I've been watching a lot of these action movies and stuff lately, and just like looking at some of them, you're kind of like, oh shit, I've seen this somewhere. Like in this anime, you can see why like what influenced this anime or what influenced this movie and stuff, so on and so forth. Like for example, like if you ever watched like the Boondocks and stuff, like with Huey and stuff, I'm seeing it like I'm like because I don't really watch too many Bruce Lee movies, but after watching like stuff like Into the Dragon and stuff, I'm starting to be like, oh, I see where they got it from now. Or like Bloodsport, like for example, in like the Boondocks, when Huey fights what's his name? Bushido Brown, who's based off of Jim Kelly and stuff. Which called Bushido Brown, martial artist and stuff. Jim Kelly, he was inside Enter the Dragon. Um basically Bushido Brown is like, quoting Jim Kelly, talking about some man, you sound like you come straight out of a comic book and stuff when he was talking to Huey and all that jazz. Like that was kind of funny. But yeah, so I see where he definitely got that from. And then the little when he jumps on what's his face on the Hayosity or whatever, Steak Maner's crew and stuff. I see like the moves are just like Bruce Lee's. I'm like, okay, I see where he got it from. Or like Bloodsport and stuff, the Kumite, with the Kung Fu Killer wolf bitch, Luna and stuff. Yeah. Um, yeah, straight up Bloodsport. Boondocks had the fight scene from Naruto. Yeah. When they were fighting the Hayate, I'm pretty sure like you're talking about when the old lady was beating up Riley and stuff. It was like Orochimaru when he was beating up Sasuke and the Forest of Death and everything. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one by one and stuff. It's been a while, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie, Naruto, they have some really good fight core. I love watching the hand to hand stuff, like the taijutsu and all of that. Especially like Kakashi versus Obito. That's one of my favorite fights in the series. It's a lot of personal drama and stuff, and a lot of like yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, that's as far as like action movies and stuff go. What else? So, Sonic Rush, since you're here, have you ever seen? Well, I wouldn't. I probably shouldn't even ask you this. I'm pretty sure you already seen it, but I'm guessing you've already seen the commercials for Sonic Superstar. Trailer actually looked pretty good. Kind of reminded me a lot of like Sonic Generations and stuff. And Sonic Mania if they had like a love child or something. But yeah. Um, I'm definitely interested in getting it. I want to play a few games first, so like a few other games first before I start getting back on the Sonic stuff because I haven't even played Murder of Sonic yet. So yeah, I saw it from the Summer Game Festival. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like you're actually there at the Summer Game Festival, or like you're just yeah, I might cop it. All right, sounds cool. But yeah, currently, well, not currently right now, but like currently, like one of the games I'm playing is Final Fantasy 7. I don't really like that. I've hardly ever really played Final Fantasy and stuff, or I'm like not too much into it. But after playing Final Fantasy 7, I'm a little into it. I haven't beat the game yet, but I can see why everybody's favorite, favorite chipmunk loving, lover or whatever loves Final Fantasy so much. Because I'm definitely seeing a lot of parallels with that and Sonic Sat-EM. But yeah, but I'll probably talk about that later though with Final Fantasy. And if you guys want to, you can ask me questions about Laurie Hughes or whatever. I don't really care. Uh, but yeah, like I said, it's a Q and A, so you can ask me like honestly like almost anything. And I'll give you like a legitimate response. But yeah, but lately though, I mean, I haven't really been doing too much. Just working, coming home, watching stuff. I've been watching. I just finished watching the second season of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Netflix and stuff. The 2012 series and stuff. It's been quite a while since I've seen that show. I kind of I want a box set of the 2012 series because it's such a great series, like the complete series on a box set. I really do want that so badly. Fortunately, the video of our call was fucked. Oh, and we had a pretty good conversation too, and everything about that. But yeah, if you want to ever ask me questions about Laurie Hughes in the future or whatever, do another like a retake or something. Oh yeah, I'm definitely down. Like, because again, like yeah, I definitely do like talking about Laurie Hughes, and I definitely love to just shit all over the guy. But yeah, I know that's probably toxic as hell, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, I've been watching yeah, the Netflix like 2012 version of Ninja Turtles on Netflix and stuff. It's been a pretty good, revisiting it and stuff after a while, you know. Um yeah, they haven't had all the seasons up on there yet, but so far just seasons 1 and 2. Of course, there's total 5 seasons, so there is that. But yeah. What else have I been doing? Like I said last night, I was watching Cobra Kai. I'm in season 4, so I'm almost finished with that. That's pretty awesome. I definitely want to see where it goes from there. So we got Cobra Kai. I've been watching Pokemon Master Quest. It's been quite a while since I've watched Pokemon Master Quest, but I bought the box set because I kind of wanted to like look into like Ash's character more, even before like even knowing, oh shit, Ash became the champion and stuff. I was still like, I wanted to look into Ash's character because I don't think, like, honestly, Ash is like that bad of a character as everyone says he is or whatever. I know it's like the same thing with Chris Thorndyke. I don't know why I'm always sticking myself up or sticking my neck out for like lost causes and stuff sometimes. But hey, it is what it is. But Ash, though, yeah, he seems like a pretty decent character. He ain't like the most like, oh shit, this is the best written anime character. Nah, but honestly, like to tell you the truth, Ash is like one of the most iconic Pokemon characters out there. The only time I will think about talking about him is in a video, was mostly a retrospect. True. Um, maybe I might do a live stream or something of me like looking at or reacting to Laura Hughes' community tabs or something. That shit should be fucking hilarious because that's the only thing we have left of the guy now. That and probably all the other stuff that he said on DeviantArt with all the other people in the anti groups and stuff. But I won't do that here in this live stream though. But yeah. Oh, speaking of which, Laurie Hughes, on top of that, dude used to be like a huge, like I said, and I think we said this in our call too, that one time. That the dude is like a huge Final Fantasy fan. I could probably like, well, I would just tell you right now, like some of the stuff that where I'm at in Final Fantasy 7, that I can definitely see the parallels of why he likes Sadium and Final Fantasy and so much. Like, for example, I think he's like, well, Hughes obviously dude's like a big shipper and stuff. He likes to ship like, of course, Sonic with Sally and stuff. And I think he ships Cloud with Tifa, mainly because, like Tifa just like Cloud. Now I don't know, and I don't want to know yet until the end of the game. But Cloud and Tifa, they're childhood friends and stuff, similar to Sonic and Sally. So I can kind of see that, like, okay, there's a parallel right there. Um, there's a kind of like a narrative or message about like the world being at stake and it being over like run by some like, like by some like, just some fat cat or something or whatever, basically some guy, whether it be Robotnik or uh Shinra or whatever, you know. So I definitely see it around there for sure. And then you got like a little rebel freedom fighter group. I definitely see it now why he loves Final Fantasy so goddamn much. But I definitely do find it to be a pretty fun game and stuff. I actually got the PS. Well, actually, I have the PS1 version and the PS4. I got the PS4 remake version at first, but I never really touched it. And then eventually, I was at like Video Game World, this place that sells like old classic retro games. So I was like, all right. saw Final Fantasy 7, and I was like, all right, well, why not get the original? At least they didn't censor out Tifa's, her boobs or whatever, you know? I was like, all right, let me see, yeah, get the original, see what that's like. I'm like, damn, no wonder why people love this game so goddamn much. Then, yeah, so now I kind of do want to play the remake after I beat the first one. Uh, Probably not right away, but eventually. I definitely want to see the differences that they have between the original and the remake. But that should be fun. But yeah. So Final Fantasy, let's see, Ninja Turtles. Let's see. I guess I don't really have too many plans for the summer like that. In general, like I do have some summer, well, some summer stuff, but I mean, apart from just like I mean, working and stuff, coming home, I might go to Maryland somewhere in like July or something. I mean, back where I'm from, and like visit family and stuff like that. Um, of course, I will keep the videos to keep going and stuff, as much as I can. But yeah, what else? Visiting my hometown. What else is there? Visiting, and then oh yeah, well, I guess next week because my family up here is like they're about to see the Flash movie and stuff. Oh wait, hang on. A lot of people ship Cloud and Tifa. I get why, but goddamn, he loved mentioning his ships. Oh yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, definitely with Cloud and Tifa. Um, I think I saw on his Twitter he's also a huge My Hero Academia fan. I'm a huge My Hero Academia fan myself, but he's also a huge fan of the shipping and stuff as well with that because I know he ships Todoroki with Yagirosa, which isn't bad. I actually agree with that. Or Mina with Kirishima and so on and so forth. So yeah, I support the ships, but Larry and the other people making them look bad. Yeah, they really do make it look bad. Stuff like they really do. Like they just take it to like the next level. I'm like, dude, calm down. If somebody just disagrees with you, they just disagree, man. It is what it is. Like for me, obviously, I'm a Son Amy fan. Not everyone got to like Son Amy, and that's all cool. I've already accepted that. Um, I like to ship Knuckles with Rouge and stuff. Some people might ship it with Shadow. Personally, myself, I'm not against if they ship Rouge with Shadow because I'm like, because I mean, hell, that's actually not a bad. That's definitely not a bad ship either. Or someone is blase, like, yeah, I don't know. Part of me is like a little bit of a romantic in a sense, um, where I'm like, damn, I want to see this a love story play out or something like that. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, not all the time, but like, I don't know, like at least when it comes to like anime and stuff like that, I definitely do like seeing some of the rom coms in there. I do not watch movies that are rom coms. That would be boring as hell to me. But animes, they definitely do know how to make it interesting, like Inuyasha and stuff like that. Exactly, it's not that deep. Like, yeah, for real. But yeah, but that's your boy Laurie Hughes. Like I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody knows the word on the street is the dude got kicked off. Well, not kicked off the internet. Dude's mom had to come in and put her foot down and stuff because she was tired of Laurie wasting his time on the internet and starting all this shit. And then he's starting to get into some legal trouble now too because of all that. Well, I don't think anyone's pressing any charges yet, as far as I know. But he can definitely be facing some legal trouble and stuff if that did happen. So he needs to watch himself. Hope he's doing well, in the humane sense. But I'm just like, dude, you gotta, you gotta wisen up. But that's what else? But yeah. So next week, my family's planning on seeing that Flash movie. I am not seeing that Flash movie. I almost didn't even watch Spiderverse, let alone I'm not gonna watch the Flash. Don't get me wrong, I like Flash as a character. I like Wally West Flash and stuff because that's the Flash I grew up with. Because Wally West was like the Flash back in like Teen Titans and stuff. He was Kid Flash in there. Then he was the Flash inside Justice League. So yeah, of course I like Wally West. and stuff. I knew about him before I like knew about Barry Allen and Jay Garrett and even Bart Allen for that matter. But still, but Wally, he was a badass and stuff. Hell, I actually remember one time there was a little funny scene off of like Daddy Daycare where there was this kid named Tony and stuff, and he was dressed up as the Flash, and dude was like, "I thought the Flash's real name was Wally West." Like again, that shows you Wally West's popularity over Barry Allen, but now it's vice versa now. Imagine if he was really into Avenger. Oh dear God! And ships Finn and Princess Bubblegum. Oh man, that's a well, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that's a terrible ship between Finn and Princess Bubblegum, but after watching like I'm not sure if you know who this is, Sonic Rush, but there's a he's a TikToker and he's also a YouTuber, classic D man and stuff. This man has a full on series as to why Princess Bubblegum is a piece of shit as a person and stuff. But Jesus Christ, like Princess Bubblegum, like because he really does like blow out her he really does air out her dirty laundry and stuff. I'm like, good God. Like I never thought about this until now. But that really is fucked up. Princess Bubblegum ain't shit. I'm like, yeah, classic D man. He really does bring a pretty good point about it. But yeah, and then the end of the day, Princess Bubblegum ended up with Marceline, which oh my god, imagine that. Like if he did ship Finn with Princess Bubblegum, he would blow up over what's his face over Princess Bubblegum being with Marceline or something. Or yeah, but I can probably see Laurie Hughes probably being like the type of guy that would probably ship Finn with Flame Princess since they're like the same age and all that stuff, and they actually did have a pretty cute relationship. Too bad it got screwed over because of bad writing, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah. So, anyways, we're back to Flashpoint though. Like, I got like at least three different reasons as to why I don't even want to watch the movie. Uh, I guess the first one is the biggest reason, the elephant in the room. Yeah, the actor Ezra Miller. First off, the guy is already a terror. Like he from the get go, nobody liked this guy as the Flash. Nobody liked him. Hell, the man can't even run, and he's supposed to be the Flash. But yeah, and then he doesn't look nothing like Barry Allen. Barry Allen's like a what? Isn't he not like 6'1", tall, blonde, and stuff? And he's supposed to be like a police officer. He's a cop. And this Flash, I don't know how tall Ezra Miller is, but I know he's not like 6'1". He doesn't have blonde hair, and even if he didn't have blonde hair, he can at least have brown or something. But his hair is just straight up pitch black. He don't look nothing like Barry. Like what is this? And he's skinny, and he's skinny, bro. But yeah, and then his costume looked like trash, and he was kind of annoying inside the Justice League movies and stuff. Like, yeah, for real. Um, so not like people don't really like Ezra Miller as Flash, or at least definitely like people, yeah. Like honestly, if you ask me when I first saw Justice League and before I kind of knew, like before I knew Ezra Miller was a weirdo, because I mean I've heard some things about him that he'd be like cross dressing or whatever. I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's his business. It is what it is. I mean, don't get it twisted. It's weird as shit, but I mean that's his business, I guess. But even before that, I was like, yeah, he doesn't act nothing like Barry, and all he does is like he's just the quirky guy. Like that's just like kind of like how it is where in like movies and stuff nowadays or superhero stuff, they need like a quirky, jokey kind of guy, and then they need the serious guy or whatever. But obviously, they like okay, everyone's gonna like they're gonna flock towards the quirky, jokey guy. Yeah, that works sometimes, but not with Ezra Miller. I just can't. Yeah, like I never did. I just found him to be annoying and stuff for the most part. But yeah, so that's one reason right there. Nobody liked him as the Flash to begin with. So complete miscast, and especially out of Justice League. Because I mean, I was kind of thinking about this the other day, but like honestly, the best casted characters in Justice League is Henry Cavill as Superman, Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think she was pretty damn good. I love that Wonder Woman movie. Um, Ray Fisher as Cyborg, he was actually pretty good. Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I actually enjoyed him as Aquaman though. He does like Aquaman is supposed to be like a like, as a brawny blonde guy and all that, like in the Justice League cartoon and all that. But still, Aquaman, oh, I actually enjoyed him inside Justice League. He was actually my favorite character. He was he was a badass. So I overlooked just Jason Momoa as Aquaman though. And then they were talking about making him Lobo. I'm like, damn, well, to come to think of it, he looks more like Lobo than Aquaman. He looked more like Injustice Lobo. But yeah. But anyways, and then we got Ezra Miller as Flash, where yeah. And then I remember some of my cousins, some of my older cousins that used to watch Justice League, they were like, damn, they nerfed the hell out of Flash. Like he's talking about so all he does is I push people and then I run away. What? So what about the what was it? The infinite mass punch and stuff that Flash had that he can destroy stars and shit with or whatever? Like again, keep in mind he's a cop. He may not fight as good as like let's say Batman or something, but Flash, like yes, he can throw a punch and some kicks and stuff like that. He's actually like yeah, and he's trained like with the Justice League and all that stuff. He should be a pretty decent fighter and stuff. And then on top of that, he's got this like outrageous, ridiculous ass super speed with it. So that's even worse. So yeah, so I don't know why they made him where he's like, okay, well, all I do is I push people and I run. Like, no, Flash is up there with Superman. Or even like sometimes even more powerful. Sometimes depends on like the Speed Force or the Green Lantern, but whatever. So that's one reason why I'm not watching. Well, because Ezra Miller, I'm not watching it because I'm like he was a miscast anyway. They still kept putting him in more stuff even though we didn't want him in that shit to begin with. Dude gets his own movie. Second reason why I don't want to see Flashpoint is because they started out with Flashpoint to be the Flash's first movie. I'm like, why would you start with Flashpoint to be Flash's first movie? I know they're trying to do this whole reboot now, and that's why they're trying to justify it. And then on top of that, I'm pretty sure they're going to do all this fan service and stuff, like how they're trying to with like Michael Keaton's Batman and all that stuff. Which don't get me wrong, actually, like I also grew up with those movies too, with the Michael Keaton stuff, and then Val Kilmer and George Clooney and all that. Yeah, like because I had the DVDs and all that stuff, so it was kind of like cool at the time when I was a kid. I was watching those movies, but still, I'm like, come on, you really gonna put Michael Keaton in this movie? And they also tried to put him in that damn Batgirl thing that never got off the ground because they had to have a tax write off, so they burnt the shit out of that. Hell, he even raced against Superman. Well, yeah, they do have those little charity races and stuff. Um, that wasn't bad, but it's just that remember when they were fighting and stuff inside Justice League and stuff, and Flash was like running. That shit was kind of funny though. And Superman, like he turned his head to the side, looking at Flash, and Flash was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to get fucked up." And then Flash was like, the man was like moving like he was slipping on ice and shit, trying to avoid Superman's punches. He was like, "Oh shit," like he was in the Matrix and stuff. He was like, "Oh man," like yeah, that was hilarious. Um, but yeah. So, but yeah. But anyways, still, like he should at least be giving Superman a good fight and stuff, not like oh just running around and stuff. Like nah, the Flash does a lot more than just that. I mean, he can't do his like tornado arms and shit like that, or I don't know whatever. I mean, there's a damn CW show where like Flash has like all this stuff like oh okay, he can punch really hard, you can like legitimately throw lightning and shit like that, stuff like that. I'm like, you can't do this. So it's whatever. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, second reason they started with Flashpoint. Like that makes no sense to me. Why would you start with Flashpoint? Now I never read the comic. The first time I ever heard of Flashpoint was from the animated movie, and I saw that and I was like, okay, that was a fucking badass movie, and I actually liked it. And that was probably the start of the DC animated movies at the time, like that animated movie universe and stuff. Which I mean, to be fair, I mean that's more so like I mean because that's animated. I mean that's a lot more believable and stuff, you know. But to do this with like a live action movie and stuff, it's just like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like why would you do this with a live action movie, especially for like a movie that should be like geared towards like I don't know, being a superhero's origin story, you know. Although in a way this does tie in because of course Barry goes back in time to prevent his mom's death. So yeah, but you're gonna really start Flashpoint like that and have all this like hectic stuff go on and stuff, so you can kind of just justify having characters like Batman and Superman and all that other stuff in there when you could just use the Flash's own supporting characters from his own damn stories like Iris West or Wally West or whoever. I don't know anyone. I don't like I said, I don't really read Flash and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, like Flashpoint, you want to start there? Okay. And then they're not even doing it right either. They're like kind of just making it their own kind of thing where instead of like, it being like in the comics or the movie where Thomas Wayne becomes Batman and Martha Wayne becomes like what's his face? The Joker and all that stuff and Wonder Woman and Aquaman have this like war where they're trying to like destroy the world and stuff like that. Yeah, and then Superman is like in this government facility or whatever. Like they don't do none of that stuff. Like it's just like okay, that's out the window. We're not going to keep it accurate to the comics. And it doesn't have to be a 1-to-1, but it's just like okay, this is just going to be fan service. Like yeah, this is like No Way Home all over again, just with Ezra Miller's Flash, which and then you got two Ezra Millers, and I'm like oh okay, yeah, I'm out of here. The Flashpoint comic is good. I just read mostly read the Batman Who Laughs comics and other comics. Yeah, I definitely need to probably check it out. I don't really read a lot of American comics like that. Mostly I read a lot of manga, but when I do read American comics, it's either I'm pretty sure you can guess this one. It's obviously Sonic and Ninja Turtles, and then sometimes what you call it, Usagi Yojimbo. I don't really read it a whole lot, but I definitely did. Like I've read the run. Not the current one, but yeah, I read it here and there. And then I definitely love reading the stuff from like Udon Entertainment and stuff with the Street Fighter comics and stuff like that. Or hell, I just got like a Darkstalkers comic not too long ago, and stuff with like Felicia, because well, I had to get Felicia. I had to get that damn comic. But yeah, but Street Fighter. I mean, currently they got the Street Fighter 6 comics and stuff. It's kind of like a prequel or whatever to the actual game. So I want to collect those comics and stuff. I only got the first issue, second issue. They kind of damn, they kind of ran out at my comic book store, and I went to another one. They were sold out. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm only 2 days late, man, and you guys already sold out. It was wild. But yeah. But anyways, but Flashpoint, yeah, I'm just like it's not gonna be a good movie. And plus, like, I'm not gonna like go out of my way and support somebody like Ezra Miller and stuff out of all the things he's done at this point. I know it's one of those like, well, you can separate the art from the artist and stuff. I can do that to an extent, but I'm just like, come on, I'm not no. And then considering that like this is all going to be pointless anyways, I'm like, no, I gotta have some integrity somewhere. Like I didn't even go out of my way to even see Eternals or Thor because I was like, all right, those movies are just going to be bad from what I hear. Or Ant-Man 3. Yeah. And normally knowing me, I'm a guy that loves story and stuff. And I really get pissed off whenever like I get spoiled on something, or I used to. But after like the movies and stuff that are coming out nowadays that aren't even that good, I'm like, oh no, like you can spoil the hell out of it for me. I don't even care. Or I'll look at the reviews and stuff. I don't even have to. I'm not going to waste my time and my money going to the movies and stuff when I can just save this for something better. The latest manga I read was chapter 3 of JoJo Lands. See, now I've read when it comes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Um, I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, of course. It's definitely one of my favorite animes too. Of course, I watched the anime. I wasn't really into JoJo at first, but then I watched the anime and I was like, okay, I'm starting to get into it. But right now, currently, I would say I'm still in part 8. I had never really finished it yet because it was kind of like dragging for me. But yeah, part 8, right? Yeah, part 8 because part 9 is the current thing that's out right now. But yeah. But for me, the current stuff I'm reading as far as like manga and stuff goes, I'm actually like, checking out like Eden Zero, and I just read Fairy Tale 100 Year Quest and stuff, the first volume. So yeah. What else? I've been reading some light novels and stuff too. I'm pretty sure this is I've talked about this before, but one of my favorite animes is a show called Slayers, not Demon Slayers, but Slayers. It's an old '90s anime. It's kind of like a D&D and an RPG kind of game, but as an anime, pretty much. They got a light novel series and stuff that the anime is based off of, and I'm definitely loving the damn light novels and stuff. I love the artwork and the story and stuff. Characters are funny as hell. It's yeah, definitely a recommendation for me. But yeah. So mostly, yeah, I've been checking out light novels and manga and stuff here and there. It's interesting, you know. But anyways, but yeah, Flashpoint though, I'm like, yeah, my family they can go watch Flashpoint all they want. I'm going to go to Comic Con that day. It's like June 16th, so I'm going to Heroes Con. That should be fun and stuff. I would rather go there, of course, over watching that dumb Flash movie and stuff. I could probably, yeah, unless I had to work that day, but I might have to check my schedule. But anyways, yeah, Heroes Con, and then they can probably come with me the day after or something. If I, go again that, sometime that weekend or something. But yeah, that's how it is. So, anyways, Comic Con, the Flash movie being garbage. Um, so I might as well talk about some of my plans for my YouTube channel. So, speaking about retrospectives, I might actually do a retrospective of the 2012 series since I just watched it on Netflix, just because, um, and stuff. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, man, this is definitely a lot more better after rewatching it. You know, after a while. And then, of course, I have yet to make my Donatello respect video and stuff. That's also coming out. I have to write a script for it though. I like to write scripts and stuff so I can like stay on my talking points and I won't like trail off and stuff like that. Um, Currently, I'm working on my animations and stuff. I'm almost halfway finished with one of my animations, and I haven't really gotten to start on the other one, obviously. But I like to focus on one at a time. My next animation is going to be like hand drawn. So I'm going to like, like I'm drawing it by hand first, and then I'm tracing it over with marker, and then I'm going to like put it online, and then I'm going to like, yeah, try to edit the frames and all that stuff so you can like, flow inside a good like, so you can have some pretty good motion and whatnot. Um, yeah. So animation. So yeah. Um, but anyways, but like I said, my next animated video is going to be of like Sonic and Tails training with Knuckles and stuff. I actually talked about this one time on your thing, Sonic Rush, about my animation and stuff, how I wanted to do this thing where like basically movie Knuckles ends up training movie Sonic and movie Tails to so that they can protect the Chaos Emerald, because I think they like announced or not announced, but they have like I think a logo or something of like Knuckles' little Paramount series and stuff. So if he steps away and leaves Sonic and Tails to do their own thing, I guess he wants them to at least be able to like take care of themselves and take care of the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald and stuff. So I thought, okay, this would be a good brotherly and a masculine kind of energy and stuff of them training together. But yeah, me, Elden Ring videos, music, retrospective on some games and other stuff for my channel. Yeah, that's what I might have to start like watching and stuff is retrospective videos. Because I mean, I'd be at my job and stuff, and I just like, I'm like, damn, what do I want to listen to? And I just like listen like, and lately I've been listening to like retrospectives, like Dead or Alive and stuff. I've been because I just played Dead or Alive 2 and stuff, and I just like, I beat all the characters in the story and all that stuff. It's kind of interesting. So I wanted to, hear retrospectives on that or like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that. Right. But yeah. But yeah, animations. Yeah. And not to mention, speaking about Sonic and novels and stuff, which call it I kind of ordered it on Amazon and it just came in the mail the other day. But my I got two Sonic novels now. The first and second one of the two Sonic movies. I think these are like basically grade school level of books, but hey, I don't know. Sometimes you might learn a little interesting lore or something that just wasn't in the movie or something, or maybe a character's perspective or what they're thinking about from the novels and stuff, which is kind of interesting to me. So that's why I like to like read novels and stuff. Sometimes you definitely get a good like kind of perspective. Uh, let's see. What are my thoughts on Lanolin? The only retrospective video I did was Rise Star on the Sega Genesis. Well, I'll answer the Sonic Rush Silent thing real quick. Rise Star, not to say I'd never played Rise Star, but I think I might have played a little bit of it back when they had that Ultimate Sega Sonic Genesis collection. But I don't think I ever beat it though. But I think it was an alright game. It was fun. So my thoughts on Lanolin. Lanolin, I gotta say, IDW, they're really good at like having like, just Sonic characters and stuff. Just like, like that are just simply just background characters or like the designs and stuff. And then that just like becomes like a whole thing, because originally Lanolin was just a background character and she was like, freaking the hell out. And I think what was it, the second issue of IDW Sonic and stuff, where like uh these like super badniks and stuff were attacking and Sonic and Amy had the whole thing under control. And it's like to me it's really a good and a creative thing how they actually like how the artists and stuff had put a lot, not a lot of effort, but they put effort into designing a character and stuff, like just a simple background character, right? And then fans saw that and it was like, you know what, I want to see. And they always kept making fan art or was always talking about this character and stuff. And then eventually they kept putting Leno Lynn inside more and more backgrounds and stuff, like in the restoration and stuff. She had a new design and everything. And eventually, like she became a part of like a staple now, a part of like Tangle and Whisper's team, the new Diamond Cutters. So that's pretty cool. So definitely do want to see more of Lanolin in the future and whatnot. Hell, I want a Lanolin plushie because I got a Tangle and a Whisper plushie. So if I have a Lanolin plushie, I guess I'll have the whole full on Diamond Cutter plushie collection, I guess, but yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, Lanolin, pretty cool character and stuff. Some people were even saying that she's like a ripoff of Sally and stuff, which I'm like, she's not a ripoff of Sally. Like, I swear to God, like, I swear to God, every time people be like, in IDW comics, they see some kind of character with maybe some level of resemblance to Sally. They'd be like, oh, yeah, she's totally a ripoff. She's totally a Sally clone. I've already been vocal about this with, sorry, I've been vocal about this with Amy, where they're like saying Amy's like, oh, her personality inside IDW now is a clone of Sally. I think that's BS. I think they just wanted to make Amy a more likable character. But hey, if you believe the contrary or whatever, I mean, it is what it is. But I don't think they just made her personality like Sally's, because Sally and Amy, they already have their differences, but then they also got like the similarities too. Like, yeah, Amy can also be, I wouldn't say she's as good as a leader as Sally is, obviously, but because Sally's just more suited to lead and stuff compared to Amy, whereas Amy will only just do it out of a necessity. But yeah. And then what else? Then people were saying Tangle is like a clone or something of Sally. I don't really hear as much people say that now, or at least say that, compared to like the Amy stuff. But good God, I'm like, all right, because the first instance where I was hearing people, and this was like 5 years ago when the IDW comics was like announced, they were talking about, oh yeah, we got this new character, it's Tangle, and they showed her silhouette and stuff at the time. I remember it was like as if it was yesterday. Everybody was like thinking, "Oh shit, is it going to be Sally?" They actually had Sally in the comics. I was like, "That's probably not Sally." Yeah, I'm like, "That's probably not Sally." Not to say it can be or it's impossible, but I highly doubt it. And then lo and behold, oh shit, that's Tangle, the new character and stuff, or it's a new character, it's Tangle, basically. So that was actually pretty cool. But, people would just say, "Oh, well, yeah." And I'm like, Tangle and Sally don't act nothing alike. Like they don't act nothing alike. I think Lance Jerkoff said that actually. And then Laurie Hughes, he loves to watch Lance Jerkoff too. And he gets a lot of his talking points from that guy. From that guy too. Just to, yeah. Uh, I guess to paint a picture. But yeah, um, Lanolin. But nah, the Tangle though, nah, Tangle doesn't act anything like Sally or Amy for that matter. Like Tangle honestly acts a lot more like Sonic, if any yeah, if anything. Like she's energetic. She loves going on adventures. She's somewhat of a thrill seeker. She's also athletic and etc. Like, yeah, she's literally like I would say compared to like Sally and Amy, like Tangle is literally like a female like version of Sonic and stuff, just a different species and everything. I know he was punching the air right now. Oh yeah, I felt those shockwaves from all the way over here and stuff. Dude was punching the air and stuff, talking about some. He's talking about Sally and stuff. Like, yeah, for real. So, anyways, what was I saying? Something about lanolin, and then you got people now saying lanolin is also a clone of Sally. I'm like, good God, like Jesus Christ, she is not. She is not, like, I don't, just because she's a leader and just because she's like now a strategist or whatever, apparently, or she's like more of a logical thinker and stuff. That just makes her automatically like Sally. Okay, I got you. But anyways, yeah, but I think yeah, she's a pretty cool character though. Definitely good design and whatnot. I love how they can take that kind of creativity of that character and just like turn her into something else bigger than what she was originally intended to. Definitely does show you that the IDW staff does actually care about the fans and stuff, and they actually do like listen to like the feedback and stuff, and they actually will, yeah, like they actually do, yeah, because they're fans themselves, so they know like what the fuck the fans want, you know. But yeah, and not too long ago, I just finished up reading. I just got what was it, Friday the other day? Yeah, so yesterday I bought the 61st issue of the Sonic comic and stuff of the IDW Sonic comic. Um, where what's his face? Where they finally had that conclusion and stuff. Everybody, Sonic, Tails, Amy, Tangle, Whisper, Lanolin, Blaze, Silver, Rouge, Shadow, Omega, all of them were pretty much fighting Dr. Eggman and stuff and his whole city and everything. Uh, and all that stuff. Eggman, I don't know what happened to him. He probably escaped somehow uh, because I thought for sure like either Sonic had finally taken him in and he's been arrested or something, but not in the comic though. That's what they were kind of implying in some of the not in the dialogue, but in the what you call it, in the bios and stuff, like for the future stuff. But I guess Eggman's gonna be shelved for a while, so that doesn't surprise me though. But yeah, so it definitely seems like these next comics, in my opinion, with the IDW stuff, they're gonna like have these next comics kind of be like, what are the next comics gonna be? Like they're gonna be kind of just self-contained stories. They're not gonna be any kind of like big events like Urban Warfare or the Metal Virus arc or whatever. It's just gonna be like simply just okay, self-contained story. Amy and Knuckles, they have a small misadventure in this next issue that might last maybe an issue or two. Kind of like the Chaotix when they had that one issue where they bumped into Clutch the Possum and Rough and Tumble. I thought that was a pretty good comic. I was not expecting that comic to be so good. I was like, all right, this is gonna be filler. So I'm just gonna read it online. It's probably not gonna be that big of a deal. And I was like, damn, this is a pretty good ass comic. So then I'm like, I went on my way and actually bought it and everything. I was like, okay, I like this. This is actually pretty good for the Chaotix. So yeah. And then the next comic after that, well, I can't say it's going to be a big event, but that one might be technically a four-parter in itself, or maybe who knows how long. But basically, in that, something about Mimic infiltrating the restoration and stuff, and I guess Silver and the others are going to kind of be on him about that. So we'll have to wait and see, but it should be definitely coming out sometime this year. I definitely hope they keep up this type of energy with the IDW comics and stuff, and definitely too with the Sonic Prime show. I know I haven't really talked a lot about it, but yeah, that should be coming out in July, so that's around the corner and stuff. I definitely can't wait. Um, but yeah, when I get back into doing Sonic videos, which I do have some ideas, but like I said, I'm taking a break from talking about Sonic for a while. At least when it comes to like making videos and stuff, I want to focus on just doing other things or talking about other things and stuff. But I mean, animations, that's different, but I mean, like, you know how I normally do my little Sonic videos and stuff where I always be talking and shit? Yeah, I'm taking a little bit of a break from that. Even when it comes to, like, playing, like, Sonic games and stuff, like, I pretty much play a lot of, like, most Sonic games and stuff, so I wanna try something else, you know? I definitely am looking forward to that. Yeah. Um, yeah, definitely the Sonic Prime and stuff, you know? Well, anyways, I'll probably end the stream here. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes. I got, like, 3 people up in here. So, oh, wait, let me read this one. Do you still rally for Sally? Um, well, I'll answer this question. Rally do I still rally for Sally? Not in particularly. I mean, I know I made a video a couple of years ago, like probably like 2 years ago or so, since I've had the show for like 2 years, about rally for Sally or bring back the freedom fighters. Well, I do, and I'll stand by what I said, or what I kind of what I kind of went then is that do I want the freedom fighters to come back inside the main games? No, you know, like no. Um, However, I was saying, like, I think maybe if you do like a spin-off or like a side thing where you have the freedom fighters and stuff and like side stories or like, you know, kind of like in Sonic Boom, right? Sonic Boom has is obviously a spin-off. It's a side story from the actual main Sonic stories and stuff. So whatever happens inside Sonic Boom doesn't affect the main canon. So they could kind of have something like that with Sadium, and I think that will kind of please all kind of like all kinds of fans, and I might make a video about this too, actually, because you know you get a lot of people that are all like, um, "Bring back Sally" or whatever. They give Sega a lot of heat about that, and I'm just like, you know, honestly, you could just go to like I don't know, check out fan comics, fan animations, and stuff. They do exist, and they are there. I can't even for me, which like I said, don't get me wrong, not to say I don't like the Freedom Fighters and I don't like Sally or anything. I do, but it's just like, yeah, that's also a fatigue in itself. So I'm getting fatigued from that. But even I can't help but see it every now and then or every time on like DeviantArt, Twitter, or Tumblr or something or whatever, you know, like yeah, I'll definitely see fan comics and stuff of those characters and whatnot, fan animations and stuff. They literally have stuff like Archie Sonic Online, season 3, they have stuff going. They have a fan comic and they have an animation on the way too, like blase blase. So, like I said, you can either check out fan stuff or hell, just create for yourself, and you can like, you know, just include those characters. It's not like it's impossible or anything. It's like, yeah, it's totally doable. So that's just my advice, and stuff, you know. But if you want to please all types of fans, I would say just do what I said about with Sonic Boom. Is that like if you wanted to please Saturday Young fans or the Archie fans, then make a spin-off like kind of game or something, with those characters and stuff in mind or whatever, you know. And this will be removed from the main timeline. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, I'll probably end the stream right here. Any last things you guys want to ask me before I sign off? It was nice talking to you. Yeah, it was nice, you know, hearing you guys out and stuff, you know. Um, Good to see that you guys are doing well and everything, you know. Um, yeah, but yeah, I hope you guys have a pretty good day and stuff. You know, pretty much you can go to my pretty much the my channel and stuff. You can definitely see my links, whether it be to Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. DeviantArt. I literally had put up a like pretty much a pretty like cool ass sketch of like the Power Rangers and the TMNT, the Ninja Turtles and stuff. Uh, uh and all that stuff. That was pretty cool. And when I and stuff like on DeviantArt and TikTok, like I think I like it like 47 like likes and hearts or whatever on Ninja Turtles and drawing. Just um, I, I don't really do a lot of Power Rangers fan art or anything, but got to like 57 like favorites and stuff. So I'll put it up like real quick before I like off, because I gotta do things at the last minute. Apparently. But yeah. If you're down to talk anytime, I'll be available. All right, cool. I'll definitely see what's popping in the future or whatever. Um, I should be off again like Saturday and so and so. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, here's my drawing of the Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and stuff. 52 favorites. I got a couple of comments, just two, one from me and one from another guy that said it was pretty cool. But if you guys want to check me out, there I am. I post stuff like this, not all the time, but I do post stuff like this, traditional art and whatnot. I should definitely be doing digital. That would definitely blow up a lot more. But hey, it is what it is. Anyways, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm the keenest fox, and I'm out. Peace. And until we meet again.